Sound check. Sound check. Before I begin, I gotta say it's really interesting that when I make a video and I do the sound checks, it seems fine. But after the fact, um, after the fact, my audio is absolutely horrible. But I ask you to bear with me. Okay. Today is January 18th, 2025. It's 4 p.m. in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to Swanky Foil Hatter. My name is Nancy, and today I'm here to talk about DISDAIN and how the .gov has influenced your mind once again. And it's also a good reason to get you a good foil hat. I don't really have a script for this. Just a few notes. Okay. As mentioned, the topic today is about social disdain. And I'm here to talk about how the .gov has influenced your mind once again. They are masters at manipulation. And for some reason, the general populace doesn't recognize that. And that is insane to me. I wanted to go to... I don't know if I can or can't. I'm about to try. Just general. I'm going to try to use the internet while I'm doing this live stream. If I can, it'll be nice, but if I can't, I'm not too shocked about it. The word I want to look up is DISDAIN. Let's see if it works. Is it gonna work? It did somewhat. It does not appear on here. Oh, there it is. Okay. As you can see on the page, I have the term DISDAIN. I'm using www.dictionary.com. Y'all know that's one of my favorite reference places, or places to gather information. And it's so we can look at the synonyms associated with the term disdain together. Google, YouTube, I'm using your application and this source for educational purposes and fun and entertainment and all that. I don't know what's what anymore. But anyway, as you may be able to see, disdain, the words that are the strongest and synonymous with it is apathy, arrogance, aversion, contempt, what's this? Derision? I don't know that word. I will have to look it up. Dislike, hatred, pride, ridicule, and scorn. There are two words that really stood out to me when I looked up the term disdain, and those two words were arrogance and pride. I'm like, arrogance and pride. Now I want to look up the definition of this disdain. And we're going to read the definition together. And again, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to show you how the .gov is manipulating society's mind, and they're causing disdain among society or within society. And please share this video. I'll do my best. I know that I perform like an amateur, but I'm doing my best. And I would like you to share this video so that maybe it'll start waking people up. You know, once so many people are awakened, am I on the camera? So many people are awakened, it causes a butterfly effect throughout society and the world at large. And then maybe we can stop the madness that's going on. Madness is one of my new favorite terms, like the madness in Alice in Wonderland. That's what we seem to be experiencing. Did they give me the definition? Okay, let's read the definition of... Is it going to do it? It didn't do it? Okay. Anyway, what I did was clicked on the pronunciation to see if it would work. Seems like I'm really delayed. But I guess it didn't work. Okay. It says it's used with an object. It's a verb. And it says to look upon or treat with contempt, despise, scorn. The second definition is to think unworthy of, is this notice? Unworthy of notice, response, etc., considering beneath oneself. But it's just really to hate somebody. That's interesting. Disdain. Oh, there it goes. All that time later. To hate somebody. To feel like you're better than them. Is that natural for human beings to be that way to other human beings? I think not. I think that we have been programmed to hate each other. And I don't believe any of the tactics that the .gov uses are new. I think they've been using them for centuries and upon centuries. They've just gotten a little more advanced or sophisticated. And they had to get more advanced and more sophisticated because society overall has gotten more advanced, sophisticated, and much more educated. So, let me read what I have here. I have written here, the .gov's progressive tactics to undermine the survival and cultural engagement and sanity of society. What am I saying? The .gov is responsible for the increased hatred in our world, in our country here in the United States, because it's a progressive, meaning it's been going on for a very long time. These tactics to undermine the survival of humankind, to eradicate the cultural engagement of amongst the people, as well as to create insanity or madness within society. So, and it's very intentional. And I know you're saying, why would they go to those type of extremes, and why, for what purpose, and how are they doing this, Nancy? Well, let me see if I can find some of these answers I scratched on my notes as the thought was passing my mind. Okay. The number one reason the .gov wants to create insanity and disdain in the population is so that they can ultimately, in the end, crash the market. What market am I talking about? I'm talking about the market of the commodity of people. Let me try to rephrase that. it has become blatantly obvious to me that people are commodities, that the government manipulates and controls to their liking. And the ultimate goal of the .gov and even some foreign, what do you call it, alien species, is to destroy humanity. Hands down, can't nobody make me see it no other way. No other way. I'm an Aquarius. What I know is what I know. You can't make me see it no other way. And just like in the 1920s, 1929, when the market on Wall Street crashed and it crashed the whole market, during that time, it's just amazing to me how much time has passed and it's not a major referral period to be able to see and to comprehend what was actually taking place. One day I may be better at communicating. Ooh, I don't know if I can have those kind of things on there. I don't know. So I'm going to come back here before they block my video or some crazy stuff, throwing me all off. Anyway, let me see if I can get back on track. How are they going to crash the market relative to people being the commodity? Some tactics that they use is to have us each indebted to the overall system. This debt that already exists, trillions of dollars, is said to be owed per country. To whom is this astronomical debt due to? Who is it due to? Is it due to an ethereal god? Is it due to some aliens that may be more supreme than us and are governing us? Who do we owe this tremendous astronomical debt to? Is my question. That in no way in heaven or hell or anything in between could it possibly be satisfied. The debt cannot be paid. Yes, it is. During this point in time in the history of humanity, we, the people, are not able to obtain physical worldly security. We cannot attain financial security. Anybody that got a little money, it's an illusion. I don't care if you able to make it through your life 50 years, 60 years, 70 years with all your money and your wealth. What is it? Death is the great equalizer. You still can't take it. So, in the course of a person's life, the .gov is putting you in debt to them by having you work for the necessities that you need in order to sustain your life. That's one. The energy, your vital life force energy that you give to these various positions is sucking the life out of you. That's one. The next thing is you manage to make it through a week, a pay period, and you get paid. Before you get that payment, it is taxed. After you get the payment and you go buy any of those necessities that you need to sustain your life, it is taxed. Nowadays, things are a little bit different because now we have additional bills and responsibilities. The demand is put upon us and we can't escape it. There are subscriptions to everything. You cannot watch TV without paying for a subscription. You cannot talk on the phone without paying for a subscription. everything. Whether you're renting, you're constantly paying, and it's never over. You might buy a house. Once you pay for the house, then you have to turn around and pay property taxes, land taxes, more taxes. The money, what I'm saying is the money that you are able to obtain in your life, during your life, it belongs to something else, or someone else. Or like I'm going back to something else. The debt is never paid. And because we have so many outstanding debts to be paid consistently just to keep us alive, when you really crunch the numbers and look at it realistically, the system has led us all to be indebted to them. I'm not talking about the trillions and trillions of dollars that they're always propagating needs to be paid to something or someone. No, I'm talking about in each one of our individual lives, we are all indebted to the system one way or another. Whether it's an education, or you're trying to maintain a house, or you're trying to pay life insurance, house insurance, fire insurance, car insurance, all the subscriptions. I mean, every single thing has a subscription on it. You can't win at all. And I could go down a real rabbit hole with that. I saw that coming in 30 years ago. But okay. So now you're in debt. You really don't have any money. That's why your money runs out of your bank soon as you get it. Okay? That's crazy. You gotta pay every 30 days, every 29 days. Rent, mortgage, light, gas, water, over and over and over again. You must buy food. And then, of course, they have the price of food very, very high. And gas. Anyway, it all it absorbs what you're able to earn, okay, for resources that you need to sustain your life. And it's like, pay attention, you only getting paid just enough to make it a week or 2 weeks or barely, and you have to stay on the hamster's wheel of trying to obtain some money so you can buy the resources that you need to sustain your life. Is insanity. When I say all of this is madness, I am attempting to go somewhere with this, and I'm not getting there. But hold on. Hang with me for a minute. So we know that there are multiple layers of taxation upon us. That alone depletes your funds. What I've noticed, the environment, the energy amongst the people, whether in my real life or here online, is that's a whole lot of hatred, a whole lot of disdain. People belittling others for their station in life in order to set themselves on high. I don't know if you know it or not. It don't seem like you know it, but you're still in the same boat as everybody else. You really are. And I say that because I saw some commentary where the people were talking about people having children. Show you how the .gov and or some alien life form has manipulated us psychologically to the point they have led us, manipulated us into hating each other. So these people were talking about how people should not have children if they're not financially stable in life. This is a term I should have used, some terms I should have used at the beginning of this video, but I didn't do it because I don't have notes. But it's capitalism versus, what did I have? Naturalism, I guess I can say. Capitalism versus naturalism. Capitalism is so powerful that people cannot comprehend that giving birth to new human beings existed from the beginning. That it trumps everything. That having children, procreating is a natural process. Period. Okay? Then we have capitalism here now, where people struggling to survive. Oh Lord, if they can thrive, they really think they're doing something. And it's leading society, a portion of society, to have the disdain for others that may not be doing so well, that may not be yielding or folding to capitalism, or playing by the game the way capitalism has created the game to be played. And I just thought it was astonishing for people to just bash other people for having children. I really do. How I wish I could really, say what I want to say. I'm trying so hard, because I understand under capitalism, it is cruel and evil to bring new human beings into this realm, unaware if you're unknowing if you're going to be able to feed them or clothe them or love them or take care of them, or what the system itself might do to them. It's cruel. It's horrible. So truthfully, people that continue to procreate, even though they don't have the resources, their future is not planned out for them. What they're more or less guilty of is not being able to foresee what the plan of capitalism is really about, and what its actual overall goal is. And it is to what? Bankrupt society. It is to end people, to turn us against each other, to cause us to hate each other, to keep us divided. This is just one of the tactics, or the sway of the .gov. This is just one. Now, people that are, especially the younger generations, that are highly impacted by inflation and the capitalism and inflation and things like that, they've already been brainwashed. That's a whole nother thing that's pretty irritating, is that people are so brainwashed. That's scary. That they don't even know reality. People do not even know what's real and fake anymore. And I have to admit that I thought about this new AI stuff and this chat GPT or whatever it is, and how it causes this illusion, and they can make fake people and all that kind of stuff, and do voiceovers and make it seamless. This is the age of deception. But the deception is so simple. It's on a simple level. And the simplicity I was trying to give you an example of is how people bash people that have children, because this economy is so unstable and so messed up, and so many negative things can happen. They're not saying, hey, don't have children because I don't know, the .gov will take them and use them as a commodity. They're not saying that to people. And people don't, even the people that have children that are unaware or unawake on this particular topic, are not aware that the .gov will take their offspring and consume them and use them as a commodity. They are unaware. You know why they're unaware? Because it ain't normal. It is not godly. It is not natural at all. The problem that is taking place in our current reality is that our .gov and any affiliates that it has, such as some alien species or whatever, are not natural, ungodly, against humanity. Oh, look at my foil hat. I'm wearing it for a reason. They are not good. They're not righteous at all. These entities that I'm speaking of, that I am bashing and willing to bash, need to be disbarred. They need to be eradicated. They need to be eradicated because they are destroying society. They are destroying society. All of the poverty that does happen, it is made by the .gov and their system they've established. Poverty exists because the .gov over centuries and centuries took the power out of the individual's hands, broke up the family, manipulated us into thinking that family was not important and they were dispensable. That's one. So now you're trying to do it by yourself. Then we have it where .gov has where you don't even own your own home. You don't have a place to be stable and to stay. They have shifted housing into corporate hands, not individual hands, not individual family hands, where you can build something, you can save something, you can establish something, you can pass it down to the next generation. The food, they stopped us from, we let them stop us from having farms and different things like that, and then wrote laws. Come on, y'all now. The .gov, the system, the alien species, whoever wrote laws to say, hey, it's illegal to plant foods and vegetables. It's illegal. What kind of law is that? That is completely against humanity. Why? Because we need certain things to help us sustain our lives, or we do what? We perish. We perish. And you think, and when you think about, stop and think about the system and how it's set up and how it's like really bold now. It's just in their ungodly ways, and I'm not religious, just have a problem talking, and getting my point across. Their ungodly ways is literally destroying humanity. Now, this is basically impossible for us to know the intricate details of any person's life. But I'm quite sure as inflation inflates and things get increasingly more expensive and housing is out of reach. Oh my God, so much I could say, but I can't tell my personal life. Otherwise, the way the system is, they got spies out here because we have disdain for each other. That'll turn me in just because they don't like me for one reason or another. Whether it's because I'm fat, I'm black, I'm a woman, I live in America, I wear a foil hat. I can't even tell you my truth so that you can really see. I bet if we all told a real life truth, the system would literally crumble. But they know we can't tell the truth again because they planted disdain amongst us all, to the point that I remember one time I did a video about like fruits and vegetables that used to naturally grow in my community. I live in the hood. I live in Detroit. But when I was younger, there were fruits and vegetables everywhere, and the fruits came up annually. And I talked about that time period in my life and that experience. And I had some nut in my comments make a statement about how I was stealing. I was like, and I think this person was almost as old as myself. It was unbelievable that the .gov has successfully made us idiots. Not us, not me, but a lot of people out here are idiots. And I know that because I did astrology years back that talked about how the powers was sitting up chuckling, saying these idiots. They are morons. And it talked about IQ in astrology. But that video's gone. Because I had an incident here on YouTube in which they erased all my stuff. And it was I call it pre-monkey. Because all I got on my side was a monkey with a hammer talking about they were working on it. And I was shut out my account for like 2 weeks. But when it came back up, my videos were gone. Select videos were gone. Anyway, it really talked about how society, humanity, mankind are complete idiots and morons, and they deserve to be controlled and destroyed and manipulated, and that we were below them. Now that's what the astrology said. Wasn't me. So, again, I hope that you share this video or this information. Start a conversation with people that you know, and about how the .gov has swayed us to hate each other. So I could probably dive deeper and go into where racial hatred actually came from. Many people talk about various topics that cover where self-hatred comes from, but all of it, no matter what type of hatred, no matter which direction it's pointed to amongst the people in society, it was all interjected into society by the .gov. And we can actually, especially some smart people, some people that really know how to speak, could get together. They freeze me. Get together and show all types of evidence to how this is the case. I shared here 3 things. I've been all over the place, but 3 things I can think of. One was the reoccurring vegetation that grew in my area when I was growing up, and how the .gov destroyed it, and how a person here on YouTube years ago told me I was stealing. We don't know that vegetables, seeded produce, reproduce. Something's wrong. They destroyed it. That's why it's not around. Another thing you got to realize, I'm going to say this, but another piece of evidence I've offered is how people are bashing people from doing what is naturally built into their being, to their body, and that's for reproducing. And they're bashing them because of inflation, and because how horrible this place can be. But this place and the inflation is the government. They're making it happen. The .gov is making it happen intentionally, and they always have. See, we had a high perspective, or we looked up to the .gov. We believed in the .gov. But something has been going on behind closed doors for centuries that we weren't privy to. But now we're pretty smart. That's why they after us now. That's why they want to destroy us. That's why the drones are flying and everything else. Because the population overall is smarter than we have historically been. There are more people that have gone to higher educational institutions, colleges, universities, etc., than I think people ever have in the history of humanity. So we are smarter. They needed us to be smarter at a particular time, but now they don't need all our smart asses. So, anywho, so what did I talk about? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. We got reoccurring vegetation. People do not seem to know that plant life is naturally reoccurring. What do you call them? Like I don't know if it's called annuals or something, perennials, whatever, that keeps coming every year on their own, bountifully, more and more every year, and how the .gov destroyed them. Literally, I watched it when I was growing up. And now that I'm older, I see that it wasn't just in my location, it's everywhere. I'm in the United States, it's all over the country. So I'm sure it's all over the world. And then that people aren't aware that procreation is natural and it trumps any other system, even and even capitalism and the result of it, which is poverty. People don't seem to understand that you have requirements in order to survive in this realm. And one of those things, or two of those things, is to have food. 3, food and water, and shelter over your head to shield you from the wildlife out there and the weather and everything. These are necessities, or you will perish. Or perish. I say perish to be nice, but you will die. And die. And people don't seem to understand that. This society now has been manipulated to accept that the system that has been set up by the .gov trumps everything. But it does not. The reason why the .gov system is trumping everything is because we're allowing it to. We are individually and collectively responsible for how this realm is ran. And we have let a few that are obviously much more intelligent than ourselves to set everything against us so that we will what? We will perish. We will die. They will corner the market on society, and just like the market crash of the 1929s, it's going to be a year, whether it's 2025 or 2050, that society, the market around society, relative to society, is going to crash. That suggests to me that a lot of people are going to die or become enslaved. All you have to do is look at the facts. Because we had the facts to 1929. When that market crash, you had the facts. You had the facts of how they took over everything and monopolized all industries and pushed the middleman out. There's another time they pushed like the middle class out, pushed the poor down, while they reestablished themselves for the next level, because the next level was an advancement in technology. They were advancing in technology during that time. No, it's not the technology that we have now, but there was certain technologies like the development of bridges and the construction and the skyscrapers. These were all advancements in housing and roads and just everything that was going on back then. There were advancements, and they were making sure that the little man stayed down, period. And a lot of people's lives were ended and changed during that time period. Fast forward to now, to the present, here we go again. And this time, what we do have on the people of the past is that there are a lot more educated people than there ever have been. Ooh, here they go. They threw me off again. Huh? I'ma let it go. If your recording has stopped, please check that you have, which I erased a whole bunch of stuff. Well, one day. It was something else I wanted to say. Well, I think, in closing, that society overall should move to get their minds back. If I'm still being recorded, I don't know if I am, because it says that it stopped. But sometimes it says it stopped and it hasn't. We should move to get our minds back. But first, that definition to disdain was about, or the synonym to disdain was arrogance, pride. That is the I guess disdain and pride are tethered together. They're tethered together. And it's not until the people themselves, the individuals within society, are willing to humble themselves. Got to get rid of that pride and that arrogance. Humble themselves in order to see the truth. Without that, there's no way that we can stop the .gov and any alien species that is trying to dominate the world and shut you and me down if people don't take accountability for themselves. Anywho, thank you for coming over here to Swanky Foil Hatter. Until next time.